Welcome back to Euro Football Daily. With the Champions League about to get back underway, let's take a look at 10 underrated players who could make the difference in this summer's unorthodox knockout tournament. Let's go. 10. Rodrigo Bentancur. It may seem strange to kick off with a player whose team is currently losing a two-legged tie in the last 16, but with Lyon having played just one competitive game since March, we're backing Juventus to overcome their 1-0 deficit. And while you'd expect Ronaldo or Dybala to grab the headlines if they do succeed, Rodrigo Bentancur is also increasingly important to the Bianconeri. Having only turned 23 in June, the Uruguayan midfielder has come of age this term. Initially used sparingly by Maurizio Sarri while he tinkered with the midfield at the start of the season, Bentancur has been ever present since the turn of the year, and it's no surprise. His 7 league assists is the most in the Juve squad, and he is also key to the side in build-up, making 6 passes into the final third per game, a figure only topped by Miralem Pjanic. Meanwhile, he is also by far the busiest of the club's midfielders, winning possession 3.9 times per 90 minutes, with only Juan Cuadrado topping him in this regard. With Juve a weaker proposition than they have been in seasons past, their midfield will have to be on top of their game to navigate the knockouts, especially with the prospect of Real Madrid or Man City in the quarter-finals if they can beat Lyon. 9. Benjamin Pavard. Considering just how good they've been in 2020, it's hard to find a genuinely underrated player at Bayern Munich. David Alaba has been immense, Lewandowski is arguably in the form of his life, while Thomas Müller and Thiago are gaining the kind of recognition they have otherwise missed in seasons past. But in his first season with the Bavarians, Benjamin Pavard has been near flawless. Only Manuel Neuer and Joshua Kimmich featured more than the Frenchman in Bayern's triumphant Bundesliga campaign, while he is yet to miss a minute of Champions League action, providing 2 assists from right back in Europe. He has also directly contributed to 8 goals in league play, the same amount as the electric Alphonso Davies has managed, and has been solid defensively too, winning 76% of his tackles. With Bayern arguably the favourites to win the UCL this summer, there will be a lot of pressure on Hansi Flick's side to perform, and they have also been placed in the more difficult side of the draw. If they can get their hands on the trophy for the first time since 2013, it will very much be a team effort, owing as much to the likes of Pavard as Lewandowski and Müller. While an ankle injury means he will certainly miss their last 16 second leg tie with Chelsea, Bayern fans will be praying he can make it back for the latter stages. Before we move on to our next underrated player, just a quick reminder to subscribe to Euro Football Daily and hit that notification bell so you never miss another great video. 8. Patrick Schick. With RB Leipzig making the mistake of letting the talismanic Timo Werner leave before the Champions League recommences, the rest of the club's attacking units will have to step up to the plate if they are to make further progress in the competition. And while Marcel Sabitzer and Emil Forsberg have, like Werner, scored 4 goals apiece so far in this year's UCL, we should also be paying attention to Patrick Schick, who has yet to find the net in Europe but has impressed in the Bundesliga. Despite ranking 10th in the Leipzig squad for minutes played, Schick was the side's second top scorer in the German top flight with 10, and was also only beaten by Werner on the expected goals front, firing a super impressive 3 shots in the box per 90 minutes. With the quarter-final matchup against one of Europe's toughest defences in Atletico Madrid, Schick will no doubt get minimal chances to make his mark on the tie. But with a number of top creators in the RB ranks and an impressive 19% shot-to-goal conversion rate, the 24-year-old will fancy his chances. 7. Vinicius Junior. Karim Benzema may have rightly received the plaudits for firing Real Madrid to their 34th La Liga crown this summer, while the return of Eden Hazard is also a plus as Los Blancos hope to overturn a 2-1 deficit against Man City and avoid dropping out at the last 16 for the second consecutive season. But judging by his performance in the first leg, Vinicius Junior could be Real's key to progressing in this summer's Champions League knockouts. The Brazilian forward has been pretty unproductive in league play this season, mustering just 4 goal involvements in over 1,300 minutes, but a goal and an assist in the UCL, having made just 2 starts in the competition, is very decent. And he was magnificent against City, No player on the pitch completed more than his 3 dribbles, and he also led the press, making 4 tackles and interceptions and targeting the error-prone Kyle Walker, as was shown in his creation of Isco's opening goal. If Real are to overcome Pep Guardiola's side and make waves once again in Europe, they will need to be tenacious across the field, and Vinicius offers that in abundance. At 20 years of age, he remains a raw talent, but a big performance this August could help cement his place in Zinedine Zidane's first team plans for next season. 6. Giovanni Di Lorenzo. An €8 million signing from Empoli last summer, no one has played more for Napoli this season than Giovanni Di Lorenzo. The Italian wide man, who has played almost exclusively at right back at the San Paolo, has received relatively little attention this term despite being a consistent performer in an otherwise uninspiring season for the Partenopei. In fact, Di Lorenzo hasn't been subbed off once in 43 appearances this term, a trusted acolyte for both Ancelotti and Gattuso, and he has also produced, providing 3 goals and 3 assists from fullback for a side which posted their worst Serie A goal tally in 10 years. He has also clocked up 2 assists in the Champions League, setting up Dries Mertens at Anfield. While not a particularly remarkable player, Di Lorenzo has proved good value for money for Napoli, and if they are to overcome Barcelona at the Camp Nou, he will need to be on top of his game. 5. Mario Pašalić. Papu Gomez and Josep Ilicic tend to get singled out for credit in Gianpiero Gasperini's electric Atalanta side, which demolished Valencia 8-4 on aggregate to reach the Champions League quarter-finals in their first ever season in the competition. And while we have also spoken about Robert Gosens in past videos too, one man who perhaps hasn't received as much attention is Mario Pašalić. The Croatian playmaker, who has finally joined Ladea on a permanent following loan spells at multiple clubs, is one of the key cogs in Gasperini's attack, hitting 9 goals and 5 assists in Serie A this season. And he's been particularly influential in the Champions League, directly contributing to 4 goals in 8 appearances. His standout performance came against Man City, a match in which he completed a game-high 6 dribbles and scored a crucial equaliser which ultimately saw them progress from a tight group. Capable of playing anywhere in the midfield but positioned predominantly as a 10 behind Ilicic and Gomez in the UCL, Pašalić will be key as Atalanta attempt to unlock a PSG side desperate to finally get their hands on Europe's top prize. 4. Thiago Silva. But one man who will be determined to stop the threat of Pašalić is Thiago Silva. The PSG captain may turn 36 in September, but he has remained one of the club's most important players this term, racking up the 3rd most league minutes in the squad among outfield players and more than Kylian MBappé, despite missing 6 games through injury. And it's no wonder, the Brazilian veteran is still a superb leader at the back, winning the ball nearly 3 times a game as well as winning 88% of his tackles and 74% of his aerial duels in the UCL this term. Furthermore, with his contract up at the Parc des Princes, Silva could end his 8-year association with the club by helping his side do what no team has done aside from Celtic in 1967 and win an actual quadruple, with Les Parisiens having already been awarded the Ligue 1 title and won the Coupe de France and Coupe de la Ligue. One of the defining defenders of the last decade, the former Milan man still has the quality to turn out for a top European side when he departs Paris. But he would leave an even bigger legend if he can give the PSG ownership the trophy they crave the most. 3. Arturo Vidal. With their last 16 tie with Napoli on a knife edge, Barcelona, fresh from the disappointment of losing out on La Liga to Real Madrid, will need to find the kind of energy and consistency they have lacked at points this season if they are serious about delivering an unlikely Champions League crown. And while he may have struggled for game time towards the beginning of the season, Arturo Vidal has been key to Quique Setien's high-energy system at the Camp Nou. The most active presser in Setien's side, he leads the Barcelona ranks for tackles per 90 with 3.4, and also ranks first for total pressure regains, despite playing significantly fewer games than next best Sergi Busquets. Now 33, Vidal's tenacity and ability to close down opponents in their own half belies his age. But with a ban still hanging over him from the first leg back in February, he will have to hope his teammates can overcome Napoli without him. If they do so, he will no doubt be one of the first names on the team sheet for a likely quarter-final clash with the mighty Bayern Munich. 2. Marcos Llorente. One of the most remarkable evolutions this season has been that of Marcos Llorente. Bought primarily as a defensive midfielder from rivals Real last summer, the Atletico Madrid star was criminally underused in the first months of the 1920 campaign. But after showcasing his eye for goal against Liverpool in the last 16, where he scored twice and assisted Alvaro Morata in an electric 24-minute period during extra time, manager Diego Simeone decided to convert Llorente into an attacking asset. Since the restart, the Spaniard has played almost exclusively as a second striker, primarily assisting Diego Costa up top, with his energy between the lines providing the kind of balance needed for the Atleti attack to thrive. He's provided 2 goals and 3 assists in his new role, and the side has improved too, going unbeaten in 11 games following the restart, winning more points than anyone in La Liga bar champions Real, and seeing their goals per game rise from 1.1 to 1.8. In this kind of form, Atleti will fancy themselves to make the semis, with Llorente proving Simeone's latest masterstroke. 1. David Silva. Like Thiago Silva, Man City's David Silva will be playing his final minutes for the club in the UCL knockouts, and while it's perhaps a bit of a stretch to call him underrated, he is certainly not considered as dangerous as KDB or Sterling, but at 34, he is still capable of being a game changer. The Spanish playmaker is leaving the Etihad after a decade with the English club, in which he's helped them win 11 major trophies, including 4 Premier League titles. But as we know, the Champions League has so far been elusive, and there really would be no better way for Silva to bow out than to finally get his hands on the coveted trophy. So far in this year's UCL, he has only made 2 appearances, with Pep Guardiola opting to start Ilkay Gundogan and Phil Foden over him during the group stages. But he has been magnificent in the Premier League, with only Kevin De Bruyne producing assists at a higher rate than him in the entire division. In fact, taking into account his relative lack of game time, this has been one of Silva's most productive seasons in a City shirt, and he has hit form at just the right time, providing 2 goals and 3 assists in his last 4 starts at the time of recording. One of the great creative midfielders of the 21st century, if anyone deserves to lift the Champions League this year, it's David Silva. So those were our 10 underrated players in this summer's Champions League knockouts, but what did you make of the 10? Have you got any more suggestions? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll do our best to reply. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave us a like and click on screen right now for another great EFD vid. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.